Day one was a pretty easy drive despite the distance. I was on I-20 all the way from near my home in Fort Worth to Birmingham, Alabama. There's not much to see along the way, just watch the sunrise, the tree density slowly build in the further east I headed. Eventually I turned north towards Tennessee, and the hills and mountains steadily built in. Eventually I made it to Toledo Plains, Tennessee, to the start of the Cherohala Skyway, which stretches 43 miles all the way to Robbisville, North Carolina. The Cherohala offers some stunning views in a never-ending series of long sweeping corners and scenic overlook stops. Hey guys, and welcome to day 2 of my adventure. Today's the day I'm super excited for. I finally made it after all these years to the tail of the dragon. I'm up a little bit early this morning. I wagon camped last night, so I kind of just woke up and couldn't sleep anymore. I figured I'd get an early start, so I'm here. Kind of been watching the sun come up slowly. There's only been a few cars go by so far, but there's been a bunch of Miatas like flying up here. Actually ended up slowing up a bunch of Miatas last night as well. There must be like a Miata event or something going on here this weekend. But anyways, day 1 was pretty easy. It was pretty much a straight shot from I-20, which starts like 5 miles from my house all the way to Birmingham, Alabama. Was the first time I turned off of that. Head up to Chattanooga, Tennessee. That was a little rough, just because I hit it right at rush hour and there's a few rainstorms, and I didn't know where I was going. So that was a little bit stressful, but once I got off that, the Cherohala Skyway, I don't know if I said that right, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but it was absolutely incredible. So if the Dragon is even half as good as that, I'm in for a treat today. That road was awesome. It was about 40 miles of just straight hairpins and sweepers and beautiful overlooks. It was incredible. It was by far the best driving road I've ever been on, by far and away. And I think I've hit a decent amount. Honestly, I said that my favorite driving roads are the ones outside the Nürburgring in Germany, but that was like 1,000 times better than that. There's some good ones outside the Nürburgring, but they're kind of short-lived or whatever, and that road just went on forever. It got to the point where my shoulders were actually tired from turning so much. It got a little bit sketchy at the end because it was starting to get dark, and it was like a light mist, so the road was greasy and couldn't really see really well. But other than that, it was incredible. I did have trouble finding a place to stay last night. All the national forest sites, free national forest sites that I planned to wagon camp in, were all taken up. So I ended up going to a hotel, and I planned to book a room. But as soon as I pulled in, I was just like, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sleep. So I slept in the car. But it was all right. It was a little bit of light and a little bit of noise, but not too bad. I slept pretty well except for getting up early. But now I got an early start in the day, and I think I'm going to have the Dragon pretty much to myself here for a while. Like I said, there's been a few Miatas that have flown by, but other than that, I haven't seen anyone. All right, I'm looking forward to it. First thing I noticed just from watching all the videos here, it's amazing how much more elevation change there is, which is kind of how I felt about the Nürburgring too. So you're gonna just never see it on camera, but oh my god, these corners. And the camera is kind of blocking my view for these hairpins, so perhaps that wasn't the best idea. But nevertheless, we're off. That the Mark IV had pedals that you could feel towing. Oh my god, this is so pretty. Yeah, this definitely has more, so far has more hairpins than the Cherohala. This morning, the Mark IV is making good power. And the Contis are screaming. Probably the only person driving this fast with a fucking roof box and bike on the roof. I made sure it was secure. There's a lot of down tree limbs. Hopefully the motorcycles will be okay today. Oh my god, this is awesome. I'm going to paying all the money to fly to Germany and go in the Nürburgring. Just come to Tennessee. It's better.
actually really glad I did this early in the morning. There's no one else on the road. So I think I'm about to catch up this edge. This is surprising. Yesterday on the Cherohala, I was the one holding everyone. I slept in a tent on the side of the Dragon in Miata. That's what I should have done last night. Oh god, that's pretty. RS behind me right now. I guess I'll pull it around. Hey guys, so this is going to be the end of part one of this adventure. I made it from my home here in Texas to the Tail of the Dragon in Robbisville, North Carolina. I stopped at the Cherohala Skyway along the way. It was a pretty easy drive to get out there, as I stated in the video, and I'm definitely glad that I went there. I kind of regret not spending more time in the Smoky Mountains. It was amazing how beautiful they are. There's a little bit more footage on part two of me driving out of the Smoky Mountains, but it was very enjoyable. I'm glad I finally made it to the Tail of the Dragon. It definitely lived up to the hype. I think for myself, I would probably choose the Cherohala Skyway over the Dragon, so I'm really glad I did that. The only reason being is just there still has some hairpins, but it also has a lot of high-speed sweepers. There's no real straights, but there's some long, very very long corners that give you a chance just to get a break, because where the Tail of the Dragon is just relentless corners, you don't really get a break. Cherohala Skyway gives you a little bit more time to take in the views, some longer sweepers just to change it up, different style corners. It is longer though, and I did actually find myself probably getting more fatigued at the end of the Cherohala than I did the Tail of the Dragon. But it also started getting dark and greasy, so it was a little stressful trying to find where I was going in the national forest, or trying to go in the national forest that night. Overall, super happy I went there, and I'm definitely going to be going back, hopefully with a better suited car next time. I mean, Mark 4 did fine. It's just my daily driver, and I didn't want to beat the hell of it out there. So stay tuned for next time, where we continue on, finally making our way up to New England, and then I'll show you some of the things I did while I was up there. Mark 4 did a great job getting me there and back, and then I was also a good companion to take part in all the activities I did while I was up there. I'm also going to compile all the fuel economy numbers for the whole trip and what it cost me to actually drive there and back. The only reason I drove is just because of the whole COVID thing going on right now. So I hope you guys like this part 1 episode, and stay tuned next time for part 2.